Emergency pod. My eyes are bleeding after what we've just watched tonight. Are brave, admittedly depleted, very young understudy, baby USMN BT faced up to European opposition, 20th in the world, Switzerland, and were utterly obliterated 4-0. See, as a man who loves this American team, it was excruciating to watch. We were down 4 goals inside the first 36 minutes. Poor Marcus Beasley at halftime. I mean, a man who's like, I mean, he played for this US team. He was like 83 years old. He said this. He said, "I don't even know what to say. I've never seen a US team play that poorly in a half of football ever." And tomorrow, it's a year out from the World Cup. It's going to all kick off. That was an agony to witness. Not even that dog in the burning room is going to say, this is okay, this is fine, this is where we are. And we've got to pick up the pieces together. And in those moments, I'm always going to seek the wise words of an American legend of the game, a man who's always ground and thought, who's always given his all, who never backed down. 142 caps for the US men's national team. No American male players scored more, nor framed more fish in the process. On a night of darkness, it's incredible to see a ray of light. It is Mr. Clint Dempsey.
What's up, Raj? How's it going?
Terrible, Clint. Terrible. I mean, this is a safe space, Clint. Just put into words how you're feeling after watching it.
I mean, it's tough to find positives here. The jerseys look pretty cool. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I mean, at positives, we played against good competition in friendlies leading up to Gold Cup. They're going to be better prepared for it, but man, that first half with Mbole, Manzambi, and Ndoye, we were just outclassed. The goals that they scored, they took it to us. We needed an auto zone because they beat the brakes off of us.
Oh my God, Clint always be fishing for sponsorship. I'm going to say again, US started brightly, lots of young gusto, a little bit of flickering audacity. Another debutant, as you're talking about Michael Bradley. Sebastian Berhalter, fascinating 24-year-old son of Greg. His run with Vancouver through to the CONCACAF Champions Cup final has been career-changing. It does give me echoes a little bit of Michael Bradley helping Jurgen Klinsmann teams at their best after his own dad had been fired. It is a fascinating bit of almost biblical echoing of history. But that bright start burnt off. It was really vaporized 12 minutes in. All too easy. The Swiss broke the lines. I think it was Nathan Harriel just looked just like he was drowning, completely flummoxed by a dummy. And Dan Ndoye of Bologna, coveted apparently by Napoli on their transfer target list, just pounced at speed, rifle home. We were sucker punch really in that one, Clint.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was a great through ball in, and like I said, Mbolo, Ndoye, and Manzambi, how you pronounce his name, they were on fire tonight. I mean, the only goal, maybe the Mbolo goal, where Turner got a hand on it, maybe he should have kept it. He pushed it right into the path of Mbolo. That could have been avoided, but some of the other finishes were top level.
The second goal, I mean, was agonising because the question, always in those words is how would the US team respond to conceding? And it was honestly about as humanly badly as it's possible to be. It was within 10 minutes. So simple, so basic, long ball out wide, utterly shapeless backline from the United States. Failed to pick up anybody. The assist was from a 19-year-old Johan Manzarbi. I believe he stole Oxen's soul on the way to the touchline, angled in that ball for Ibischer to finish. This is a kid, 19-year-old, plays for Freiburg, made 11 appearances this season. I think he played 332 minutes total. When I saw that, looking at him, the way he was capable of just utterly, single-handedly collapsing our defence like that, it was hard to watch, Clint.
No, for sure. I mean, you would like to see our players taking people one-on-one more often, and that was the difference there. He was able to beat the man, but not panic, get his head up, make a good pass, and they were able to get the finish. So it just seems like once we concede one, it looks like another's about to come. I mean, that's what we saw in the Turkey game. To concede those 2 goals so quickly was kind of left us a mountain to climb.
It was like nothing learned. It was so much of an echo of that, and it would get worse for the United States. Again, ceding space on the flank, completely uncontested shot from Ricardo Rodriguez. Matt Turner, God bless him. Oh my God, I ache for him. On the very day he's been heavily linked to Leon, we needed a big game for him. This is his moment to dispel any doubt about the number 1 position. Fumbled the ball right back up into the Kenny Loggins danger zone. Brill and Bolo tapped home. No fight, no spirit, no confidence in that midfield. I mean, the statistics all night, terrible. First time US had conceded 3.5 since 2019. 175 seconds later, my God, the midfield was just woeful. They honestly looked like they wanted to be anywhere but on the field. Again, 19-year-old Johan Manzarbi, absolutely just, as he ran past Mark McKenzie, one of the replays, it looked like he whipped his underpants off as he blew past him and then just slap shot home past a quite shell-shot Matt Turner. Clint, this was like watching a JV team scrimmage against varsity. Was it just an enormous skill gap, or was it something more? Ultimately, like the shapelessness of the team, the system just turning to mush. Like, what percentage, when you look at it, is it possible to tell is the skill gap, and what was tactics, coaching?
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like we were outclassed. The midfield, like you talked about, and the attack that they had from their wingers and player up top. I mean, they just caused us all kinds of problems. And it just seemed like we were in the match until we got punched in the face, right? Everybody has a play until they get punched in the face. And once we conceded, we didn't have that confidence anymore of being at home and trying to take the game to them. And then it was almost like a sinking ship, and you're trying to like plug all the holes. And it wasn't until the second half there was like got some new blood in there. They were fighting, but Switzerland took their foot off the gas. So it's kind of hard to gauge or judge that second half performance. But at the end of the day, you know, we weren't good enough, but we were able to test ourselves against better competition, and it'll make us better in the long run. But it's hard to digest that now, like what we talked about with Copa America, not getting out of the group on home soil. CONCACAF Nations League, not getting out of the semifinals and losing also in the 3rd, 4th place game on home soil. These are games on home soil in those competitions. Like we played against Panama, we played against Canada. If we were in a World Cup qualifying cycle at home, those are must-win games, and we're not winning our must-win games at home. So I don't know if it was the same format before when there were less teams in the World Cup. I'd be curious to how we would be doing in World Cup qualifying process right now.